Welcome to LettiSpeaks, where we turn pain into passion and find meaning through experience. Every day is a new day to find joy in the moment and live life abundantly. We speak and we listen and we don't take it lightly. Let's jump in and see what Spirit has to say. Welcome to tonight's reading, where we're going to take a look into what is coming up next on your journey. So we'll tap into the energies and see what Spirit reveals for this next part of your journey. We'll also take a look at some of the supporting energies around you that will come around you during this time. Also, we'll take a look at any challenges that may arise during this next part of your journey, and any advice that Spirit may have in regarding this part of your journey. I'll be using a couple of my oracle decks, and I also will be using a few of my tarot decks. I'll go ahead and list those in the description box. And I wanted to thank you for stopping by, for you know that I appreciate you allowing me to speak into your life, as I do not take it lightly. And if you are new to my channel and you're just stopping by, I always feel like there's a reason, whether you stop by intentionally or whether it was just by chance. Welcome. If you're resonating with my message, you are more than welcome to subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to support and things are resonating, you can like, share, comment, let me know what goes through your mind as I'm reading. And it especially if it resonates. No pressure. If it does not resonate, then don't try to make it fit, right? There's other readings, lots of them that came before this one. Many readings coming after as well. Also, I will be sharing quite a few more areas of content in terms of music. I do have new music coming out on Spotify, in the process of making music as well. All forms of spiritual music. And so lots of things to share coming up here. So go ahead and subscribe if you have not, just to keep up with what's happening. And if you do desire to receive a personal reading, I'm more than happy to connect with you. That link is below as well. If you feel led to donate to the channel, there's a few ways that you can do that below. All forms of support is appreciated. Thank you so much to those who have already donated. And those who have shown love, I appreciate it. And so for the next part of your journey, let's jump in and get started. I believe I'm going to probably do another meditation video shortly after this, and I will be uploading that video as well. If you haven't taken a look at if you haven't taken a listen to the first one that I did, you're more than welcome to do that. It should be a couple of videos before this one. The video just has a picture of a lush green area near a brook, and that particular meditation was aimed towards connecting you more closely with your physical presence, with your body. That meditation was set up to connect you with the inside and your inner being, and allow you, bringing you into an energy of just sitting in your energy and feeling what it feels like to be in your body. And so that particular meditation was designed to help you connect with yourself. And so if you haven't, go ahead and take a listen to that. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. And so, yeah, let's get started. All right, and so I have some cards laid out here that came out for the energies concerning where you're headed next. One of the first cards that came out is a card of tenderness, talking about true love and compassion. So for someone, there is a steamy, hot relationship that is headed your way, right? Very vibrant. I feel like this is going to be a very passionate connection. The giraffe actually is symbolic. It's actually one of the tallest animals in the animal kingdom, and the height actually signifies the ability to see. It's almost like soaring from an eagle's perspective, the fact that you have an advantage above all those that are underneath you. They're not able to see, from the distance or the height that you have the advantage of seeing from. And so whoever this is coming in may actually stand in some type of advantage position. This may be someone who possibly has an advantage in some way, shape, or form. You could be the one that actually has an advantage. However, it is very heartfelt, something that's going to bring in a lot of excitement and joy in life, a lot of heavy connection here. If it is karmic, which simply means it just comes to give a lesson, it could point to the fact that this is something that's coming in to be healed from another lifetime, possibly. And so for someone, this is some type of tender connection coming in towards you. So next on your journey may have something to do with some type of significant connection that you'll be making around love. If for some reason you've had a difficult time with love and you have areas that you're still healing, you could have developed because of painful relationships, some type of perspective around love that's not really serving you. If you are desiring a relationship, this is kind of coming to you in a way that's asking you to open your heart. Open your heart and remember the tenderness that you show yourself is going to mirror the tenderness that the universe is going to send your way. And so remember to understand that you are very worthy and deserving of everything that you want and more. It is accompanied by the number 9, which means this is the end of a season. You're about to head into just a whole new experience. If your love life has been kind of dry lately, this may be the introduction to something a little bit more juicy, something a little bit more passionate and, fiery. And so, yes, I say yes. Okay. And so the next card is a little bit along that same lines, except it's not romantic. Friendship. And it's accompanied by number 11. 11 is a very significant number for me. Or I'm sorry, it's not number 11, it's actually 14. My bad. Maybe 11 is still significant to somebody who's watching here. 11 has been very significant for me. 11 means you are headed in the right direction. Many times it's the universe's way of saying keep going. You're doing a great job. So I'm going to deliver that message. Even though this is not number 11, I'm going to say it anyway. The universe is for somebody. If you're wondering if you're headed in the right way or if you're doing the right thing right now, that message is coming in as a confirmation to answer the question that's going through your mind or has recently passed through your mind. Yes, you are. And keep going. If you continue to move forward, you will reach the goal that you are anticipating. Just don't stop, is what I'm hearing. And so for friendship, this almost is, I wanted to add for this one, the colors is very significant for me. This color brings in a lot of whatever this relationship is that's going to be open to you is going to be so helpful in so many ways. Not only is it going to bring a level of excitement to your life, but it's also going to add confidence. I'm seeing a level of confidence increase, a level of self-belief. It's almost like it's going to really, give you your flowers if you haven't received any compliments or, you know, any pats on the back. It's going to get that, you're going to get that kind of energy here. Lots of support that's going to build you up, right, in your confidence. If you haven't felt that lately, I just feel that. And so this one I feel like is rooted in the energy kind of like, it's almost like a very passionate energy as well, but I don't feel like it's romantic. It could be. It could be friendships turning romantic because it's very, I get the feel of this card is very passionate and creative as well. And so this card is friendship. So you could be having connections or friendships coming in this next part of your life coming up here that's going to provide support and fun, play, opportunities to get out, opportunities to connect, with people. And this is a picture of two women that are smiling. And it's almost like they're sitting up high somewhere looking out on the land, an appreciation and joy. And in that, there's like a connection that's happening, right? Of the ongoing relationship and being able to share the joy of this moment together and happiness. And so I feel like for coming up for someone, there may be like a reconnection with friends. This could be like an invitation, or it could also be family or loved ones. And this is so that you can experience like the camaraderie or like that soul synergy, right? There could be like some type of group that you will be coming together with to create this level of like a soul connection or some type of connection where you'll be able to really combine in energies, like-mindedness, and appreciation of life and what you're experiencing in this next part of your life. There's people coming in to experience that with you, I feel. And not that you can't experience that by yourself, but I feel like when there's a group of people come together, the energy, the synergy created around that is so much more powerful. And it becomes kind of like a putting together a collage or a quilt with many different fabrics. It adds the texture, and it adds the beauty, and the creativity strengthens and broadens and becomes more powerful, And so the vibration that will be created through this connection that's coming towards you is going to be possibly one that will delve into different areas of life. It may be leading to look into the past, things that have happened in the past. It could also be delving into different philosophies, right? It could also be just sharing, personal experiences that you've had with one another. And so it's going to be connecting on a deep level on things that you have in common, right? Things that you have taken a liking or some type of interest in, that you'll have a platform or some type of setting where you'll be able to express that, which is very necessary. We need that level of connection. As much as I love to be alone, I have to admit there is a part of me that wants to share, in the beautiful experiences that I've been able to have. It makes it that much more enjoyable when you're able to share it with somebody, and especially if someone else can share in what you've experienced and vouch for what you've experienced. It's like, yeah, someone gets me, it's that kind of energy. And so, again, it doesn't have to be family. I don't feel like it has to be family, or people that you've known for a long time. This could actually be people that are being attracted to your vibration, and that's going to harmonize with you, what it is that you are experiencing in the world and enjoying, right? With a level of innocence, right? This is going to be a connection where it's not like you're having to watch your back or having to double check to make sure, it's not that kind of energy. This is a very innocent, as you can see, like she's sitting very comfortable, with the other lady at her back. She's not looking over her shoulder in distrust, but there's a level of enjoyment. And this is like soul family energy. Yeah. So if you've been feeling like a need for support lately, just know that ahead is a support coming towards you that's actually going to allow you to express all of your deepest desires and concerns, in a way where you can be free to do that and not feel judged. In fact, whether you know these people that are coming towards you or not, there is going to be an immediate connection, right? And you'll feel it, right? When it's right, you'll feel it. And so, yeah, so for some of you, this is going to be connections coming in the form of friendships coming towards you. These friendships are coming in to receive support and to give support. So it's going to be reciprocal. And so you're being encouraged to actually open up to invitations, open up. Now use your discernment, because not everybody, not every invitation is for you. And so use your discernment, and set the intentions to connect and just have fun, not really setting any type of expectation on what you're going to get, but just allow yourself to experience the simple joy of connection. And so the next card is kind of interesting. For some, we get the energy of hostilities coming in. Hostilities. And this is about conflict. It's about conflict and unrest. And on this picture, it looks like a woman is sitting in front of the moon, and there is some type of gesture that she's doing, but she's sitting on a panther, which is, the panther is actually, looks like the panther actually is in an aggressive mood as well as she. And so, conflict and unrest. And so it's almost like being in a position of defense. I'm almost getting like the Seven of Swords with this card. Both the panther and her, they're like sitting in a posture of kind of protecting what it is that they have, protecting their space, protecting their energy, and almost kind of like a warning to beware, right? Beware. Don't approach, but beware. And so coming up for you on this next part of your journey may be a little bit of conflict. There could be someone or something, a situation that will arise that's a little bit conflicting, that might kind of rub you the wrong way, or it may place you in a position to feel like there's a need to defend yourself. But whatever that is, whatever this energy, this conflicting energy is, you're being guided around the fact that you will be most definitely gathering like what it is that you have at your disposal, and kind of girding up your loins to prepare and to face this head on, whatever it is. So the next season of your life may very well be one where there is a specific confrontation that will need to take place. And you're being guided to prepare to stand in this conflict. During this time, there may be a need, and this may be around you setting good boundaries. I feel like this is almost like the energy, because it's a stance of asking people to beware, to kind of don't come too close because I'm not really in a receptive mood. It's almost like realizing the things and the people around you that have tried or that have been successful in some ways in kind of usurping your power or usurping your energy. And it could be, family members. It could be co-workers. It could be friends. It could be lovers, right? However that resonates. It could be like a draining obligation that you hesitantly made that's actually threatening to take a toll on you. And in this next season, this conflict is about you standing your ground and setting your boundary up against this. Whatever this is that's pulling or taking energy from you without reciprocating that. I get this energy here where there's something that is expected or given, that's being given from you, but there is no reciprocation of that being poured back into you. And so there's going to be a situation or an individual where you're going to stand your ground up against this person or this thing. And it may cause a little bit of conflict. It may cause the environment in which you cohabitate with this individual or you work with this individual. It may cause the environment to get a little hostile, right? Because when you begin to assert yourself and assert your boundaries, especially with people that aren't used to you doing that, they're used to actually just having their way and walking over you whenever they get ready. It causes a little bit of conflict. It starts to kick up dirt and dust in the air, and it starts to spark little fires, and sometimes they get the message and they're like, oh, okay, it's a new sheriff in town. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you end up having to walk away when there is a refusal to acknowledge your boundaries and your sense of standing up and asserting yourself in your power. However that plays out, this is some conflict coming in around that here. And though you could be tempted to kind of diffuse things by giving into it, it's almost like the energy of, okay, I don't want to rock the boat, and so I'm just going to just do it. No, you're being guided in this to rock the boat. You're being guided in this to stand in your power and assert yourself. You're being guided to build, shake things up when it comes to you standing your ground, okay? Because it's unhealthy and it is disempowering for you to do that. And you're basically, what you're doing is you're giving away your power, right? You're giving away your power and you're also teaching people that that's okay. It's okay to bypass your standards, right? So that they can have their way. That's not the message that we're wanting to send. And so this is breaking old unhealthy patterns, right? And they must be resisted by all means necessary, right? And so that's what's coming in, hostilities in this next season. And it's around you. It's around you standing up and asserting yourself. So don't shy away from conflict or unrest, right? This is you going in and taking back what's yours. Taking back everything that was stole from you. It's time. It's time. Yeah, people gonna walk away from you, but remember, others are coming in that's going to be reciprocal for what it is that you're giving. Others are coming in that's going to be non-judgmental for where you are. In fact, they're going to understand you more than you realize. Okay? And so don't worry. For everything that you lose for where you're being guided, there's something better stepping in place of that. And so don't you worry. Yeah. It's time for you to act on your own behalf, right? There's times in life where it's okay not to be so considerate of everybody else, especially when you've given that your whole life. There comes a time where you thinking about you is okay for a while, and you're coming into that season here. And so be brave, right? Face confrontation with strength and power and might, and don't back down, right? And so for this next season, I do sense that for you. And so dig up that very fierce determination that you have and that strength of like the panther that lies within you, okay? You have all the assistance that you need. All right, and for someone, for our next card we have the Divine Masculine. So we may have a Divine Masculine watching here. And or you could very much be in divine masculine energy. Of course, we're not talking about gender here. When we talk about kings and queens and high priestesses and empresses and emperors and divine masculines and divine feminines, we're basically talking about energy. Okay? We're talking about energy. And this energy that you may be entering into in this next season of your life. And if this is not you entering in, this could be someone that you're meeting, someone that you're connecting with in this next season of your life. But this energy is going to be very powerful, very electric, and very active as well. And so this card taps into the Egyptian ideology because it's tapping into the characteristics of Osiris, which was known to be like the master of resurrection. And this was during a time, Osiris actually lived and reigned during a time of active creative energy is what is being brought to mind. And so this could be a very active and a creative time in your life where you're very sovereign in what it is that you're doing right now. And it's almost like coming into a newness as you merge and fuse everything that you are with the creator, with the universe, with the powers that be. It's almost like, as you can see in this picture, that's what he's doing. He's standing kind of like at an altar, and there's a connection there happening. Have you see the beam of light coming down and then coming up also from the earth? And so there's like a connection that's happening as he's fusing his vibrations with consciousness. And there's like a hawk sitting on his shoulder as well, that represents life force and more intense energy. And so this next season may actually be one where you feel this very strong, intense surge of energy that you'll be operating in this next part of your life. Remember, we were talking about the eagle and birds, how they have an advantage to their perspective because they're able to fly so high. Like they are able to look and view the land in a way that not many animals are able to do, just like the giraffe as well. So they have a high perspective of the land, and they're able to see for a larger span of land, which gives them an advantage, right? And so there's something to do with vision coming in here. So this next part of your life, you could be very much given gifts, right, around seeing, around being able to tap in and see things beyond the normal vision that we're able to use with our physical eye. It may in fact have to do with the third eye. And so this could also have to do with communication, right, around vision and around this very electrical energy that you'll be in this next season. I almost feel like there's going to be like a connection that's going to trigger different abilities within you in this next season that's going to give you a way to create and to communicate and to see things like you have not before. And so this is going to need, this is going to require for you to position yourself in an open way to be able to receive this that's coming in for you, or to be able to step into this in this next season that you're heading into. So this could be like a business. This could be like a novel that you're writing. It could be some type of work of art. It could be a music piece, right? It could be something that you'll need to really focus in on and kind of pour. And just like there's something being received here, there is a creative genius that we're able to allow to be filtered through us when we are open to connection. Through that creative genius, we're able to pour out and allow ourselves to be like a vessel or a conduit of this creativity that pours through us. It's almost that kind of energy. So I almost feel like this is a creative that I'm talking to, especially with the number of 8. It's almost like focus, mastery. There's something that's being created in this next season of your life, and you will be kind of like the conduit in this next season of this creativity coming through. Positioning yourself, allowing creativity to flow through you. Creativity being a spirit, right? Flowing through you. We don't own creativity, but it operates through us. And so this next season may very well be just that. Yeah. So this next season you'll find that you'll be vibrating very high. Vibrating very high and connecting with the universe as you are being inspired to this accelerated action, whatever it is. You may in fact find yourself feeling new, like invigorated or reinvented or transformed in some type of way in this next season. And so again, though, if this isn't you, this could be someone coming into your life, as I said. And so on a personal note, like this card could actually signify the approaching relationship with this kind of person. A relationship with a man, a masculine energy. And it could be romance, but it also could be with these energies that's coming in through this divine masculine figure. It could be business aspected as well in terms of creation. It's a connection that's going to come in and create with you. And so this person is actually going to be very resourceful, bringing ideas and inspiration, and this very dynamic type of energy is what I'm feeling here. And so now's the time to really be on the lookout and observant for this kind of energy coming in towards you, because it's definitely going to be an opportunity. And even as this type of energy comes in, there's the need to remember to understand that you bring your own dynamic energy. And so the best connections happen when the two coming together understand their wholeness apart. It's two wholes coming together to create the dynamic of those two individual wholes. You have everything in you that's just as dynamic as this person that's coming towards you. And it's two dynamic beings coming together to create something dynamic. But understand and remain in your own power and don't be absorbed into the power approaching you, is what I hear Spirit saying. So don't lose your own personal creativity or your personal voice, okay? You are made to create through that, specifically your uniqueness in that. And so remember to listen to yourself, is what I hear Spirit saying. And then the next one is sensuality. Sensuality. So for someone, this next season brings in a little bit of feminine energy, a feminine wisdom, actually. It's almost like the moon, feminine wisdom and passion, right? And going back to that yellow hue again, tapping into your feminity, right? And so this number is 11. 38 equals 11. And so for this card, I feel like it's very self-explanatory. There are going to be new adventures coming towards you, passions to be awakened in your life. This could, in fact, be alluding to a connection coming towards you just because of the way the lion is kind of hugging or embracing her. I almost feel like it's a masculine energy that's coating her. And it almost feels very sensual and very present, you know. And so this may actually afford you a moment to open up to the more sensual side of your being. Allow your feminine side to come forward and be very present, you know. And of course, feminine energy is receptive energy. It's very relaxed. It's not doing and going out and pursuing. That's masculine energy. But this is a very sensual, very relaxed, very sit back and allow others to do. You know, it's that kind of energy. Very expressive as well. And so this next season may offer you an opportunity to be open to this side of life. To be very open to your sensual side, to touch, to see, to taste, to feel, to hear, you know. So to all of your senses. And I feel like it may also point to a time where you'll have a heightening to your senses as well. And an appreciation, you know. It's almost like going out into the forest and for some reason the leaves and the trees look greener than they have ever looked before. And the birds chirping is louder than they ever have before, and they're harmonizing with the crickets in the grass, and like everything is in sync, right? It's like a heightening sense that's happening with all of your senses. And you bite into a strawberry and all of a sudden there's all these sensations in your mouth. It's like there's going to be a heightened sense to your sensuality so that you are able to actually experience life in a greater way, right? The appreciation is going to be excelled because of your ability to experience life in more vivid color, right? And so, yeah, so that's what this card is alluding to for some of you. And this may be in a time where you'll be afforded an opportunity to kind of just slow down and really appreciate life, appreciate the experience and the joys that life is affording you right now. Yeah, and so and this doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in some type of passionate connection. This is really, if you are, it's almost like you're going to be able to enjoy the bond or the connection even more, whatever that is. And if you're not, it's being able to enjoy all of the other senses that you have within yourself, within the things around you. This really is a experience coming from the inside of you. This is an appreciation arising from the inside of you, from your ability to actually connect with everything around you. And it does include sexuality. I can't lie. It includes that. And so take that how it resonates, okay? And so this is very heavy feminine wisdom and devotion. The tiger does bring the message of femininity, right? And then this could possibly be introducing like a time of dedicating more time to like the things that are important to you, like your family, or some type of routine or devotion that you will set up for yourself, right? And it may, in fact, allow you to even pivot and provide a level of satisfaction aimed towards your inner child, right? It's that kind of energy too. But overall, it's the ability to really tap in with self and listen to your inner voice, listen to your intuition in all matters of life, right? And understand that this wisdom that's pouring from inside of you is alive and is active, and that you are in a position to advise it, you know? And so, yeah. This is pointing to also a time that the feminine energy is actually, we're in a moment where feminine energy is on the rise. It's taking a precedence like never before. And it's almost like the gentle nature of femininity is matched right now, or being challenged by, great power at this time. And when we talk about tigers, we talk about an animal that usually is hunted, and they usually are hunted at nighttime. And so this could be a time where you're experiencing more activities in the evening or activities at night, or maybe you're prone to be more active at night coming up here. Socially and professionally, right? It doesn't just mean like you're out doing your thing, but this could even be professionally. You may find yourself being more creative in the wee hours of the night. It just seems to flow better, at night. And so you also may actually feel a little bit more adventurous at night and more willing to be a little risque, and so that's the energy coming towards you. It's the energy of passion, and about allowing yourself to enjoy this new found zest for life. Okay. A couple of more to go. For some, you'll be entering into an experience of duality. An experience of duality. Now for this, I can't help but see the red dress that she's wearing. And so for this is leading, for me, it's tapping into, and this is represented by the number 36 or the number 9. When you put those two numbers together, this is leading to the energy of our root chakra. And so that's the very first root. And it's down here a couple of inches in front of the spine, below the belly button. And this is our energy center of stability and a feeling of belonging, a feeling of having foundation, firm rooted foundations. It's the root chakra. This is the place where everything else is, balanced from. And so talking about duality, many meanings, misunderstandings, right? And so this next season could be one that might deal with some enlightenment, right? Whether through education, whether through miseducation, there's the energy of enlightenment I'm feeling coming through here. And so for duality, finding your sense of self, right? Every sense of balance within you starts here in the root chakra. But duality is actually has Mary Magdalene, for those of you who are aware. She was a character in the Bible. She's also a character known throughout history. She was considered the disciple priestess Magdalene, right? In this picture, she sits at the entrance to a cave, a place of retreat. And in her lap, she has a skull. If you can see that, I'll try my best to show that to you. She has a skull, and that indicates her spiritual side, the skull. On the other side of her is an open book, which represents her scholarly and educated side. So spiritual side with the skull, the book represents her scholarly and educated side. The red dress that she has on with the white sash beneath her are actually symbols of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, right? Combined, both of them combined. And so for you, in this next, what's coming up next for you, I feel like is enlightenment. And it's going to give you a deeper sense of understanding of your being, like of where you started, your origins, or what needs to stay balanced within you. It's the understanding that there isn't just one side or one way. Life is full of dualities, which is the name of this card. It's called duality. You have, at the same time, we all have within us masculine and feminine energies, right? We all have within us physical and ethereal, right? We all have within us fully human and fully divine as well. And so this card points to that acceptance, to that understanding, for you to really explore all that is true about you, yet diverse, right, within yourself. It's to explore that. And if you're someone that's always like looked into things from a physical aspect, right? A masculine approach may feel a little bit uncanny or unnatural if you've been more reflective, in how you approach things, or more sensitive, or more feminine, right? And so it depends on how you have approached life up to this point, where that struggle would be as you're actually accepting and acknowledging the duality that we exist in. But it's understanding that underneath all of that physical, like there's deeper layers, right, that long to be expressed. And in you being open to that, coming up in this next season for whoever this is for, it's almost like tapping into unknown parts of yourself, or discovering something, or being enlightened of something that's always been there. It's just like that you have not understood what it was, right? It's almost like having a certain strength or a talent that you've never really operated in until you did, and found out exactly how good you were at that. But it's like, well, how did I always have that and not know? It's just because that you weren't enlightened to it, right? And so whatever this is about you, this duality that you're going to come into the understanding of, is going to be very beneficial for every part of your life, even your professional life, right? It's going to enlighten you and be beneficial, personal, professional, spiritual, whatever scope, whatever area of life. It's going to be beneficial and widen your scope in that, okay? And so for this card, I feel like there is a need to really be careful to really guard against any type of misconceptions, because we have many meanings, but we also have misunderstandings. And so there's the warning of guarding against any distorted perceptions, right? Mary Magdalene, or I'm going to call her the disciple priestess Magdalene, she was misunderstood historically, right? It's written that she's been a prostitute, right, in scriptures, when actually she was known to be an educated landowner, right? It's obviously easy. Just take a look at her to assume, right? It depends on the agenda of the assumption or the assumer, and then taking into account as well the, you know, the patriarchy, right? We can go into all of that too, but we're not going to do that this time. There may have been an intention in viewing her in a certain way, and that intention may have been around disempowerment. We don't know, but all we know is that there is a need to really guard against the perceptions that would be distorted, right? And so in this next season of your life, as you come into this consciousness, understand that you hold the power to courageously live your life with intention, however you see that, however your truth allows you to see that, and the need to really be aware as you come into the understanding of the dualities that exist within each of us, and how that is actually understanding that actually empowers you to rise to the greatest level of your potential to live out your purpose in this life. I think understanding the duality allows us to be balanced in each of us, right? Many would even argue with me, the fact that they, as men, it's like, I don't have no feminine energy. What is that? That means I'm a little girly, right? But it's more than that. Again, for those that only view life from a physical standpoint, it's a little challenging. But for somebody, this next season where you're headed is going to give you clarity around that. It's going to open up enlightenment around that, so that it's not only viewed as a physical thing, right? We all have both feminine and masculine energies, and to understand that means to be balanced, to be effective in what it is that you've been called to do at the highest level of what you've been called to do, right? And so, but going back to what I was saying about guarding against distorted perceptions or allowing people to project onto you, understand that you have the ability and you are being guided to be courageous and stand in your truth. Be aware of any like misunderstandings that you might even carry about yourself, and any limiting or judgmental notions that you carry, and to set them aside. Let them be set aside. They have to be, because there is a need for a clear understanding of what your truth is, right? And that's what it requires for you to be able to embrace nature, the natural part of who you are, this duality that we're talking about. And so that's what's going to lead to this very authentic, unique, outpouring expression of who you are, right? Without shame, without doubt, without fear. And so be willing to explore like the many wonderful sides of nature, right? And be willing to understand the depth of your truth and expressing that to others. And so for someone, this next part of your journey is going to be just that, this level of exploration and an opening to a greater understanding of really who you are past the physical level, in all of your duality, right? And all of your wonder and your splendor, and how you were just made with such care and intention, right? And none of it was a mistake. And then lastly, we have go with the flow, right? For some of you, many of these may in fact resonate. For some, only one, right? For some, none may resonate, but this is for someone. And so if it resonates, yay. So in this picture with go with the flow, letting go, cleansing, receiving, this next part of your journey is going to be, I feel like, I've been talking a lot about control. So I feel like this next part of your journey will be a little bit about that, about being able to release control, or how things, your idea of how things must be, you know, and even this sense of right versus wrong, you know. But let's dive in and see what this is saying here. And so this next season of your life, is talking about water energy. I've been talking a lot about water energy as well recently, which brings in that energy of cleansing and flow, and, you know, dealing with the heart and the emotions. And so around her, around the back of her, there's like this foam, water flow. There's significant sightings of water in different forms around her. And for this, some of the water around her is kind of like frothing up into like a foam, and kind of holding the mist of the water spirits close to her heart, as you can see her grasping her heart. And in this picture, she wears like a spiral of infinity on her headband. And that's symbolic of the power of purification and like releasing the energies of negativity. You see that? Her head bend. I know it's hard to see, but I try to allow you guys to see as clear as possible. And so this next season could be a time of kind of like this quiet power, this very quiet energy that's encouraging the release of resistance so that you can kind of go with the flow. Imagine just floating down a river, just going wherever the river takes you. And this is talking about letting go or releasing, which actually requires intention, conscious intention. It's almost like to truly release something, you have to understand that there is something that poses an issue. There's something that you're holding on to, and you're making a conscious decision to let it go, to release it. Even though everything in you says to hold on, right? It's the ability to release and let it go. And through that action, that's where the opportunity for cleansing to come in and allow you to develop the gift of non-attachment, right? When we develop the gift of non-attachment, I believe that's when life begins to happen for us, right? Many times we could be waiting on something, a promise, from God or from the universe or from our Creator. And it could be at the forefront of everything that we do every day. And it could be not coming in, even though we're so focused on it and intent on it. And the moment that we just release it or even forget it and let it go, in the blink of an eye, it pops up, right? And so non-attachment is one of the greatest tools that we can have. Very beneficial even to manifesting. The moment that you let it go and release it, many times there it is, right? And that's you saying to the Creator, to the universe, to God, that okay, it's in your hands. You understand my need, and whenever you're ready. And as soon as you say that, as soon as you do that, guess what? It's done, because you've released it. You've grown. You've shown the ability to trust, to have faith. And that's all that's required, As hard as that is to believe, it really is that simple. It is. And even if it takes 10 years, when you release it, because you've released it, it's but a moment, because time is no longer of the essence, because you've released it. You've forgotten about it. You're not counting time anyway. Next thing you know, it's there. And so non-attachment is one of the most valuable things that we have, and it doesn't cost anything, right? And so this next season is almost like a time to step back and give yourself an opportunity to kind of reevaluate things or how you have related to things. And even what I was just saying about non-attachment, allowing yourself the opportunity to not or stop trying to force your way or your will, or trying to manipulate a certain form or a certain thing to happen, right? This next part of your life is going to give you an opportunity to intentionally practice this skill, practice this gift that you have been given. And this is going to be a time where you're going to be afforded an opportunity to open up your heart and be guided in that way. Be guided with, the flowing that's happening not only within you, but also around you. And that doesn't mean to just sit still in a corner and not do anything. No. What that means is that whatever in connection with your source, your intuition is saying, freeing yourself to be able to go with that. Freeing yourself to be able to go with that guidance that you are receiving. And again, talking about water. And so water is going to be an important element in your life experience in this next part coming towards you. Water brings clarity. It also brings like understanding. And it actually is an element that represents spirit. And so not only that, our body is made up of 90 something percent water. We're just bags full of liquid, right? And so is the earth, right? The earth is mostly water as well. And so that shows you like the significance of the element of water as it pertains to our existence, right? And when it comes to water, it just shows how much we resonate with it and how much it's needed. And so moving forward, again, water is going to be very significant. And so you may, in fact, get synchronicities and confirmations around this, around water. And so keep your eyes peeled. Again, part of this is your ability to be receptive to this in this next part of your journey, and your ability to be guided by your intuition, your connection. Water is very much going to be a very important part of this next part of your journey. And so some of the things that you can do in terms of water, some people will speak to their water, right? They'll take a bottle and then they'll speak words into the water, which actually is proven to change the frequency of the water. Some people will charge their water, like they'll put it out under the moon or maybe the sun early in the morning. They'll actually charge their water before they drink it. They'll charge it with love and affirm that the spirit of the presence of the spirit is on it, with the power of the rain, right? If you collect water to drink, or as you're taking a shower, or you just happen to go like to a body of water and put your feet in it, right? It's an opportunity for you to pour cleansing intentions into this very element that is us. We are one, right? Water has many different forms. It can be ice, snow, rain, sleet, hail, and it can be vapor. It can be steam, right? And it's actually the main ingredient that makes up our body, which tells you how important it is to maintain good levels of it within us, to maintain a good relationship with it. It is us, right? And so for this next season, I feel like there is a cleansing that's going to happen within your energy. And there's going to be like a release of limitations that you've had up until this point. Of course, this is going to be an opportunity. It doesn't mean that you will have to take it, right? Of course, everything that comes your way, that's sent your way, every opportunity is conditional upon you receiving it, upon you actually accepting it. This is just yet another opportunity coming your way, right? And so Yeah, so for someone, water is going to be very important on this next part of your journey. Yeah. And through this, whenever there is a cleansing that comes in, or some type of transformation, like it opens up space for abundance to come in, right? And of course, again, abundance is not just like physical wealth, but it's room for life to be experienced at the greatest levels in the most awesome measures, right? And so that area that you are being called to release or surrender or just go with the flow, this is going to open up room for something else much more beautiful to come in, right? And so these are the energies or the next part of what your journey may in fact entail. And so, all beautiful, by the way. All beautiful. And so I want to take a look at the supporting energies that will be coming in to support during this time. And I am so hoping that my microphone is not crackling this time. I've been trying so many different things for the microphones, but I'm not having a lot of luck. But I'll keep looking because I think having a clear sound is important. But just so y'all know, I'm working on it. I don't know about y'all, but that is so irritating to me. So hopefully this one comes through clearer. So what are the supporting energies coming in this next part of the journey? Of course, we already knew that. The solar plexus will be bringing in fire energy to ignite powerful energy of your individual light. And so the solar plexus is actually the energy that brings in confidence and personal power and the energy that allows you to recognize your own worth, your own value, your own ability to accomplish things without being dependent, in your abilities on something or someone else. It's being completely trusting in self and connected with yourself and being able to kick in when needed, when that extra oomph is needed during a challenge, right? And so you could be very balanced in your solar plexus moving forward here. And that's going to provide a great level of support, especially as you venture forward in areas that are a little uncomfortable or may present some challenges, as we'll look at here in a minute. The solar plexus seems to be all fired up and ready to do the dang thing. Also, there could be some type of connection with a spiritual teacher that could be helping you to tap into your higher levels of wisdom. So there could be someone that is actually assisting you in that way. Some type of spiritual coach or teacher, someone who is a little bit more advanced than you, that's giving you insight here. What other supporting energies will be coming in for my viewers here? And if it's not someone that you currently have, this could be a suggestion for you to seek out a spiritual teacher or someone who is matured in wisdom in the ways that you are being led. Someone who has been where you're going, who's been through that. Someone who is very highly integrous in what it is that they do, what it is that you're doing, right? Also, I do get the Sky Messenger, which talks about freedom. And so, what is going to be a supportive energy coming up here for you is your ability to liberate yourself. Your ability to set yourself free from any restrictions that may cause you to not be able to move forward in places where you need to go in order to reach the potential that's set up for you. Right? And this is coming through both your, for the Sky Messenger, that insight connecting with a teacher, right? It doesn't always have to be in the physical realm. I have to make that clear. This could be somebody that you're connected to spiritually. It could be someone you're connected to in the 5D. Let me say that. We can definitely be guided spiritually in the 5D. It doesn't always have to be in the physical. Again, that may actually allude to that energy of duality that you'll be learning here in this next segment of your life. And then for your crown chakra, the crown chakra is where you're going to be liberated in your thoughts, in your thinking, and how you perceive things, right? And so those are going to be some areas of support moving forward here. For some of you, there's actually going to be a level of connection through meditation. I do hear like an increased level of meditation or prayer, right? That's the same thing. And through this, that's where you're going to receive the information needed in order for you to be liberated. And it's going to have something to do both with the third eye and also with the throat chakra as well. Your ability to hear also has to do with it's connected to your vocal box as well. And so there could be things that you haven't been able to speak for whatever reason. That liberation is going to happen within your throat chakra as well. And then we got the water goddess, which talks about, again, in the flow. That came out twice. And so it's allowing yourself, and for whoever this is going to be a strength that's going to be very useful here. Your ability to just kind of enjoy the ebb and flow of life. There's someone who, that's a strength for you. Your ability to actually embody your true nature and also allow yourself to just enjoy life. Let me show you this picture here. Water goddess in the flow. Our true nature embodies the ebb and flow of life's pleasures. And it's actually a picture of an angel in the water with the sun over her crown. And she actually looks like she's praying. So, angelic, you may have a very strong angelic presence with you that's guiding you through this and helping you as well. And I have to include ancestors, right? Yeah. So you may need to, it may be helpful for you to get around water. And water may actually prove to be very supportive in whatever way. So there may be a need to really connect to water. I'm still getting water again. So maybe go to a body of water and allow your feet, your natural feet, to touch the land where the water meets the land. I'm hearing. Ebb and flow. Life's pleasures, true nature, right? That's what I'm getting. Okay, and then for supporting energies, I don't know if you're someone, if I have someone here that actually does practice like some of the yoga. That's always a benefit of aligning, you know, your chakras, creating the sense of groundedness and stability in your body, connecting with the earth, connecting with your body. And so I'm hearing going out into nature often and connecting. Do we got tree huggers in here? Any tree huggers? Connecting, however you do that. For some people, they literally go out and hug trees because there's an exchange that happens. For me, I go out and I love to allow my bare feet to connect with the grass or connect with the dirt or the ground, right? And so there's some type of connection with earth here. That's going to be very supportive here. And allow yourself to get still is what I'm hearing as well. Take moments to get still and just be, right? So many times life is just so fast and it is never stop, always going, and to just slow down and stop for a moment can be a bit uncomfortable, honestly, until you get used to it. Because when I first started doing that, it was uncomfortable. There was like this, almost like having something like under your shirt that causes you to keep moving. You know, I mean, being still is actually a discipline. It really is. And if you're not used to it, right, you can't even sit for 30 seconds without having 50 million things go through your mind and have you about ready to jump up and go do something. You know, it's a discipline. And so one of the things that would be supportive for you, if you are somebody that loves to sit still for moments out of the day, and if you're somebody that doesn't, learning to do that will be of great benefit for you. And then for someone, actually allowing the lion in you to roar is going to be of great support. Hostilities actually is linking in with that one for me. Allowing yourself to actually get a little indignant if need be, when need be. Not if, because it's going to happen, but when that opportunity comes and when conflict arises, we're not backing down, but we're going to stand our ground and assert our boundaries is what we're going to do. Even if it causes a little turmoil, that's what we're being called to do. And that is the energy that's going to be helpful in assisting you here. It's your lion energy that's going to allow you to stand and be courageous and to see your power in the world. Let me show you what this looks like. It's not pretty. It's not cute, but it's actually, yeah, it's a little bit intimidating. Look at those eyes. Spirit is giving you permission to go there. And for those that actually are comfortable going there and you use going there as a way to control people or to get a reaction out of people, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the one that actually avoids conflict. The one who actually does everything in their power to keep things calm and quiet and peaceful. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I did not come to bring peace, but I came to bring a sword. I'm talking to you. That's going to be helpful. Allow yourself to go there. What are the energies that are helpful? All right, then we have Wolf, which brings in the energy of communication. And so coming up here is going to be very beneficial, your ability to relay your ideas, right? To take what actually is happening or matriculating up here and actually transfer it into physical, oral communication. The ability to actually articulate what it is that you're thinking is going to be very useful. And so I could be talking to someone who is very articulate, someone who loves like words, someone who loves to speak and conversate and get deep into conversations with people, someone who is good at talking to people and exploring different areas of conversation. You're somebody that knows how to spark a good conversation. That's actually going to work for you. Let's get one more. And again, we got divine flow, confidence. We got any mermaid spirits here? Letting go of doubt and moving forward confidently. And so, yeah, we have lots of high powered energy here. Confidence. I love that. Lots of solar plexus energy and sacral energy. Lots of throat chakra energy. And so all of the energies available to you are going to be, and again, I feel like this card here is very watery, right? Again, talking about the water. So make sure you're staying hydrated over this next part of your journey. Water is very important. I feel like for the most part, everything that you need, even more than what's been specified here, is something that's going to be relayed to you. It's going to be shown to you, relayed to you, made plain. It's going to be brought out into the open. And revealed. Okay. Let's see. What challenges? Where are we at? We're at an hour and 36 minutes. Are there any challenges that my viewers will what challenges will come as a result of this next part of the journey? What are the challenges to be expected or that will arise here? The Three of Wands in reverse. Some will refuse to even move forward. There may be some regret about what needs to be given up or left behind. The challenges. Yeah. So some may get stuck in the past or may be tempted to be stuck in the past and not want to actually let go of something. Remember, we had that energy as lots of flow and letting go. So that may present a bit of a challenge, letting go of the past or things that feel really familiar, which is to be expected, right? Having to start over, that feeling, especially when you feel like you've done a lot or you've accumulated a lot, and then to have someone come in and say, okay, well, there's something new. It's time to be back down in beginner's position again because we're learning something new. Some people may not want to do that. That may be a bit of a challenge for some. And it could be a little bit intimidating. But again, I feel like that's why the solar plexus was coming out so prevalent. That's the part that is going to help you override those fears and those doubts. It's understanding that you're able to weather any storm. You're able to overcome anything, right? Even if it means starting over again, right? You did it once. If you became a millionaire one time, going broke is not scary because you know that you can do it again, right? It's that kind of energy. Transformation is definitely challenging. Again, it's the energy. Everything that's coming out here is like the fear around loss, or having to leave something, or having to change, you know, or not knowing what's coming. You know, the fear of the unexpected. These are the challenges that I'm seeing. What are the challenges that are coming? Yeah, judgment, fear of being judged. Like if you do allow yourself to actually step out and go after what it is that you have dreamt of doing, right? It's the fear that gets most people. But again, going back to Mary Magdalene, it's understanding who you are and not allowing for others to come in and project. It doesn't change who you are just because someone sees you in their light, right? You keep living in your light. It doesn't change your truth, just like it didn't change hers because they gave her that label. She still continued to be the disciple priestess Magdalene, the landowner, and the teacher, the scribe. I'm going to go so far as to call her that. Yeah. So what are the challenges? What is this Ace of Coins? Why is this Ace of Coins a challenge? The Two of Swords. Being faced with difficult decisions. What is this Champion of Vessels, which is the Knight of Cups? Why is the Knight of Cups a challenge? Having to start over, beginning something again, kind of having to go back to the drawing board. The challenges. What other challenges? The Fool. Yeah, having to start over again. Going into the unknown, or stepping into something without the ability to exactly know what's going to come of it, right? It's almost like not wanting to walk in faith. I want to know everything before I do it. I want to know the outcome, right? I don't want to leave anything up to possibility, but I want to know everything. The Ace of Wands, having to start again. The Seven of Swords, you know, being in a position where you may actually end up having to defend your position. Being placed in the spotlight and having to defend your position. So, the Wheel of Fortune, being at the mercy of karma. And the Champion of Wands. Yeah. And so it's understandable. You know, all of the fears and the challenges, and those are all, I feel like everything that I've named, like the challenges that will come in, are things that we experience every day anyway. You going out and after working for a job for 15 years and deciding, well, let's go do something different. There's those same, you know, challenges with doing that, you know. And so It's the energy of just not being in control when it's all said and done, and having to trust, your destiny to something or someone that you can't see. It's the element of faith. I feel like when it's all said and done, not having control is what all of these things are saying. Not being able to be in control. Is what it all boils down to. Anything else that's positioning or posing a challenge? And I'm not saying that I, don't have these issues, because I do. All of these challenges are hitting home for me. The Five of Wands, not knowing exactly what you're doing, right? Many times I've had that feeling, and that's part of walking in faith. It's not having a concrete map of where it is that you're going or what you're going to do next, but it's taking it step by step and taking instruction as it comes. Sometimes it doesn't come until the very moment that you need it. It doesn't come 10 years ahead of time. But it comes in the moment that you need it, and it's understanding that it will come. And when it does, being able to listen and tap in and follow it, right? Justice. Why is justice a challenge? Why is justice a challenge? Why is justice a challenge? Well, I feel like justice talks about being in a position, an earned position. It's not something that's just given to you, but when we talk about the justice, we're talking about someone who has proven to have the integrity, to be able to be placed in a position to make the right decision, especially if you are placed as a judge over something, or somebody that's going to distribute a level of justice, between parties. It's being trustworthy in that way. In order to get to that position, you have to be proved. You have to be proven, right? You have to show that you're able to rightly divide truth. And part of that is the process of getting there. Being trusted and being someone that is trusted. It's almost like having to prove that you are worthy of the title, and I don't know why I'm getting monastery. I don't know why I'm getting like priest energy. Many times priests give up their life to the call. They're up at any time of day or night at the beck and call of those that might need them to prove their devotion to their calling. And so there's like a great sacrifice that's made. And so I feel like part of the challenge is the sacrifices that come along with the calling that some of us are called to. Let's get a few more, and then we're going to move on to any suggestions from Spirit. Having to, it may be a challenge to have to hold back in ways that you normally wouldn't be required to. And immediately I'm getting, when it comes to sharing energy, like for some, it could be having to pull yourself back. If you're somebody that's used to being out there, like that, there may be a bit of a sacrifice in that way. You may not be able to do everything that you normally would if you didn't actually move forward in the way that you are being called. It's a sacrifice. It really is. And then the Eight of Wands, quick movement. Like movement forward is the challenge. Actually moving forward. Um, and allowing things to take place the way they need to. If you're thinking that this is like a 40-year process, it's not. These are very well things that could happen tomorrow. I have to take a break and feed my phone some electricity. So it charged a little bit. And to end this off, we're going to look at what advice, before we end this, if any, is given by Spirit. Any advice on any of this, Spirit? Let's see. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles comes in as this very nurturing energy that's very balanced and very aware of the position that is held, or kind of like the seat or the stature that is carried. Ooh, it's very, excuse me, it's very grounded energy that the Queen of Pentacles brings in. And so I would say the Spirit is just reminding you of what it is that you have, who you are, and to leverage that in your journey. I don't know why I'm hearing that. To leverage that in your journey forward is what I'm hearing specifically. The word leverage. Um, mm, in the advice. And it's like this very strong, faithful, loving energy. Um, Definitely stay grounded in yourself. Like, don't get too um, out there, but actually stay leveraged, stay level headed, and um, yeah. With the world, I feel like this is the advice of carrying forward with anything that you've learned along the way. The world talks about this energy of wisdom that you're able to carry forward from lessons that you've learned on your journey. It's wisdom cultivated from life's lessons, basically. And so I feel like Spirit is saying everything that you have experienced to this point is useful. Don't chop anything up as just something that happened, but it's actually useful in this journey. It's something that can be equated to wisdom for living, which is a skillful way to live. Wisdom equals skillful living. And so understand that everything that you have accumulated experience wise on the way to where you are right now is useful moving forward. None of it was intended to create any level of shame or guilt, right? But it was lessons that were learned, I feel like is what Spirit is saying, and understand the purpose behind um, the experiences. Excuse me. Um, which brings us to the energy of the strength, right? Talking about that same energy, talking about experience. It brings me to the number 8, which is cycles, right? These experiences that we've had, that we've been able to develop this sense of resiliency, is because of what we've been through, the reason why we're able to stand the way we are today. The reason why we're able to stand in the places that we stand in today and operate from the level that we're able to operate from today. In the actual original strength card, there is in the Rider-Waite deck, right? Which is the actual original, they say it's the original deck that was created. There is a woman standing next to a lion with a snake in her hand, and it's almost like a picture of something that is probably not really practical or something that isn't everyday circumstance. But because of the experiences that the woman has obviously had in dealings with this ferocious creature, the lion, there has become a level of mutual respect between the two of them. The woman has actually cultivated through her wisdom and her strength and her experience a relationship with this beast. So much so that she's able to comfortably stand by it, holding a snake by the head, in her hand. And so it gives um, and I don't know why I'm thinking throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack. But it gives using the experience as an opportunity for come up or for level up. And that's what I'm getting. It's almost like this strength that you have, that you possess. Use it, right? Use it to your advantage. Use those lessons that you have been granted to actually equip yourself for the mission. And then with the Two of Wands, um, of course, bringing in the energy of discovery of what you're capable of and um, progress of moving forward. Um, it's almost like introducing you to this new level, right? Being able to soar at new heights, right? It's introducing you to a new way of experiencing life, right? It's the equal measure of both being grounded and being in the light, right? It's a balance there. And so excuse me, not being too um, much into the heavens, not being too much into the earth, but having that grounded measure and being able to stand in your truth as well. Not knowing exactly what the whole path will entail, but having enough courage and faith to take the step forward in this new exploration, right? And so I feel like Spirit is saying, be encouraged, know who you are, understand that everything that you've gone to has equipped you for this. And of course, the Hermit would come out. If you are someone who has kind of been in solitude, um, it has been purposeful. Solitude, when the Hermit is in solitude, it's not just for the sake of being alone, but it's because the Hermit is being guided and being prepared and being instructed in wisdom. There's a lot taking place. And so it's purposeful and it's necessary as well, to move forward in a way that is going to be allow you to be guided and instructed, right? It's not moving forward just in, blind spots, but this is the time to get the energy and the information and how you're moving forward. Excuse me. And so, and understand that everything that you need will be provided. There's no need to worry about or stress over whether or not your provisions will be provided for any part of this. Both you are the master of being able to tap in and pull out anything that you need, but also you're connected, directly connected with Source. Understand that at any moment you're able to call out in whatever it is that you need, and it comes to you with the Empress, the Magician, and the Star. Like, everything you need will be provided. No holds barred, no strings attached. The Ace of Swords, even truth, right? Even revelation when it's needed, it's going to be provided. And so, you are being guided to really stand boldly as you move forward with the Queen of Wands. And be prepared to, like, really put some elbow grease in this, right? Um, this is your life, It's almost that energy of it is what you make it. And if you understood like that anything in the world was actually absolutely possible, like, what would it be that you would work towards for yourself? And then Spirit is in fact saying, with the Magician and the Star here, like, anything is actually possible, you know, to them that believe. And so, with that being said, we even have the World on the back of this deck as well. The Ace of Pentacles. It's like, we are in the season of dreams, and for those that are tapped in like that, it's just like that. And so, with that being said, that is the advice. It's basically, um, you know, the only limits that are there is the ones that we place on ourselves, right? And so, yeah, that's what I have. So, what's coming next for you is what we just talked about. And so, if you resonated with this, tap in. If this is your first time, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for stopping back by and allowing me to continue to speak into your life. You know I don't take it lightly. Show support though. Don't just come by and watch, but actually hit that like button. Um, I have like 35 followers, but I also end up with like maybe one or two people that interact. And so it don't cost you anything to hit the like button, right? Go ahead and drop a comment if you feel led. I do welcome that. Even if you feel like you want to tap in and get a little closer, get a personal reading, don't be shy. And so I'm here for that as well. And so with that being said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and end it there. What's coming next? So until next time, we will go ahead and call it a night. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend this far. As I am. It has been a pretty good evening. No complaints. Not that I would anyway, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. And again, I do thank you for stopping by. So until next time, thank you for allowing me to speak to you, holla at you, translate what it is that has been given to me, right? Poetically through words, through vision, through sound, right? Allowing me to operate in my giftings. I thank you so much. And so, um, if you feel led to donate, those links are below as well. And so, yeah, until next time, definitely take care of yourself. And if any of this did resonate, take it to heart. Follow up on it because um, many times it's through us being able to um, be guided and led, right? And be open to be guided and led, that we're led to the next assignment or the next thing that we're being asked to do. And so, if you don't do anything else, just be open to hear, like, and not only just from someone else, but be open to hear yourself directly. I feel like we all have a direct connection where we're able to tune in and directly communicate with our source. It's just a matter of if we're listening, if we've positioned ourselves and opened our hearts to actually hear directly from spirit. And so, um, if for some reason nothing resonated here, listen for yourself. Open up and hear for yourself, right? I don't believe we always have to go to someone else to hear, especially when we all have the same potential to tap in. Not that anything's wrong with that, that's fine. If you love to listen and have other people translate, but also understand that that energy, that power also lies in you as well. And so, um, if it did resonate, go with the flow. That was one of the main things that was repeated through this lesson, is learning to go with the flow and release control, release, take a position of detachment, so that whatever is for you can come in quicker, right? And so, yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night and end this reading. And I have this beautiful vanilla smelling, it almost smells like chai tea, but it smells really good. I have this beautiful vanilla candle that we're going to go ahead and put out as we end this reading, right? And so until next time, Take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye. A little closer. Don't be shy.